So I'm drinking water with a probiotic.
Are you sure?
That is probiotic. I got it from Inner Angel, which is a place called Inner Angel. I don't know if you've heard, but I had a procedure done recently.
Oh, really?
I won't go into it too much because it's in one of the previous episodes, but I had my stomach cleaned.
Right.
So I had to up the backside.
Was that pleasant or?
It was fine.
Yeah.
And I got a lot of probiotics,
Right.
which is to drink loads. I'm on a bit of a water kick this year because I need to be a bit more hydrated, trying to get my health regulated a bit better, my overall health, physical, mental. I'm fucked anyway, but you know what I mean? Just better physically and getting up in the mornings with a bit more energy. So probiotics, 2 litres of water every day.
Just the 2?
Well, they say 2 litres of water, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's the minimum. But
yeah.
I would easily get through that at work, but as you know, I have quite a physical job.
Yeah, do you want to just move that a little bit closer to you there? So,
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, Cork in the North, this week we are joined by stand-up comedian, gardener, Ian Thomson. And Ian...
Hi, everybody.
Is a good guy, gardener, very good stand-up comedian. You got a solo show coming up in the Sunflower. When's the solo show?
24th of March.
A week before
Friday
my birthday.
night.
A week before Friday night, Sunflower. Sunflower, where we did the live podcast in December. So to every single person who came to the live podcast, it's in the same venue again. You can go and watch Ian do a solo show, and it's a Friday night. The Sunflower is a great venue for stand-up comedy, one of the most underrated and soon to be probably one of the most popular ones for comedy, isn't it?
It's just a brilliant pub, full stop.
Great pub, great
And
people,
they own
great staff in the pub.
Have you been to the American? They own it as well.
No.
It's sort of down Sailor Town, like the docks area. But
Producer Sean has been there.
Aye,
yeah,
great too.
I've had a few good comedy nights in there as well.
Really? Is there gigs there as well?
Yeah.
I need to find out who books them, get in, get a spot.
Yeah, the American's good. Like, it's Ross Mitchell has a comedy night on there, I think twice a month.
Is it new material or?
It would be ideal for new material, probably.
Perfect. Sean's slowly now trying to open a packet of biscuits without making any noise on them. Like, just fucking open it, Sean. He's getting married. It's what?
He's on a 15.
What's a 15? Producer Sean has bought in cakes today.
What's a 15? Coming
I'm
up
from
here.
the south, like. What's a 15? A 15, I tell you what 15 is the legal age. It's not a legal age. So if you're offering me a 15, what's a 15?
I can't believe you.
What is this?
How long have you lived up here?
What's that? Is that a cake?
Right, it's 15 digestive biscuits crushed up with 15, what do you call them, glacé cherries.
I've never had this before. I've never heard of this.
15 marshmallows chopped up, right? You roll it all up into a big log, and then you put desiccated coconut. I was going to say defecated coconut.
So this is basically a Northern Irish thing, is it? Or a North of Ireland thing?
I think it's actually a prawn thing, someone told me.
Oh, put that away now. I'm not having that. I'm only joking.
Get it in
Banter,
there.
lads. Hashtag banter. Don't be fucking emailing in now with your complaints.
Don't worry, I know where he lives.
Right, so I've never had one of these. So here we go. My first time ever in the North having a 15. 15 different biscuits crushed together. Here we go.
The tension's unbearable here.
Do you know what? Fair play to the prods. if this is a Protestant thing, they're fucking good for something, lads.
Aren't they?
Hold on. Oh my God.
Next thing you know, you'll be in the orange order, man.
I already joined up. Have you? Yeah. Just so I can just do something on the 12th of July that'll be open.
Do you know where's a great place to go on the 12th of July?
France.
Belfast Zoo.
Why?
Because the zoo's open and nobody realises it's open and you get the whole place to yourself.
You go, okay, well, might as well. I've more relaxed day looking at animals.
Have you been to Belfast Zoo?
Huh?
Have you ever been to Belfast Zoo?
I've heard Belfast Zoo is horrendous. That's what I've been told.
I don't know.
It's like the animals are like, really? Really? You've put me, like, of all the zoos in the world, you've put me to this one?
I've been to
Like, come
I've been
on.
to worse zoos. The animals look happy enough, if you ask me.
Okay,
But
I don't know. I've
maybe
never been. So
They
I
might
don't
just
know.
be excited because it's the 12th.
It's the 12th, right? Yay!
Orangutans with us on March.
Oh, the orangutans. Okay. Can I just say, this 15 thing, absolutely, I'm buzzing with it. You just buy these in normal shops, like Centra and stuff.
Oh, aye. Most bakeries will do them.
So if I walk in and go, how's it going? Can I have a 15? 15 yuck.
Yeah.
Cafes.
They'll sort you out.
Wow.
that was enough tension, but you prepared for some more. I've got you a present.
The second guest to ever turn up at this podcast to bring a gift. The first one was Sean Hegarty. He brought a mug. And the second one is Ian Thomson. I do not know what this is. Scratch card.
You could be 300 grand up here.
You brought me a scratch card.
Yeah.
Do you know what? This is quite sad.
Why?
No.
Are you like
Because the
a
last
gambling
time.
addict?
No.
All right, that's all right.
Because the last time I got scratch cards was from my mum.
Uh-huh.
And then she passed away.
Well,
The only person that ever bought and buy me scratch cards was my mum.
well,
So are you me mum? This is amazing, mate. So bingo, 6 top prizes for 300. Have you ever met anyone that wins from a scratch card? I've never met anyone that's won money.
not
from a scratch
anyone
card.
that's won. Actually,
money,
no,
like.
there's one of my mates who's just a jammy bastard. On the day scratch cards first became available from the National Lottery in like 1995 or something, he won 50 quid first day, first scratch card.
So what do I do on this one? I scratch here, which is all the numbers, and
Yeah.
then I have to get a line and a full house. Is it?
I think
Sean,
that's it.
producer
There
Sean,
we go.
producer Sean has given us £10 English money.
10 pence.
So we're going to do a live scratch card read here on the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. So I have to find all these numbers. So, wow. And do you gamble? Are you a gambler? Would you
No,
gamble
I'm
a bit?
not. But I was just looking for something in the spar. What would be a good wee gift for
Next time you
Andrew?
come back on, Ian, bring me a 15, will you?
Oh, aye.
Bring me a packet
I'll
of
bring you
15.
loads of them.
Okay, so we've scratched all the numbers. I need to put these all in one line. Is that right?
I don't know. I've not read the rules.
All right, hold on a second. Let's figure this out. Right, so 24, scratch 2451. Hold on a second. 2451. No. 2451. No. Sean, can you check this for me? I don't understand this now at all. Sean,
Are you scratching them all off?
well, I've scratched the numbers. Can you check all that there, see if I've won any
Is
money?
there separate games? I think there might be.
Jesus Christ, this is complicated.
Yeah, it's a bit complicated. So producer Sean's going to check it.
We'll work it out.
Well, Sean will work it out, and then halfway through the podcast, we'll get the results.
Yeah, or if he just runs out the door, we'll know he's got
Yeah, he
300
runs
grand.
out the door, right. No, Ian, we've met obviously through comedy, and we've
Yes.
gigged together a couple of times, whether that be at the Empire or whether that be at New Material Nights around Belfast. And stuff. But we've also met in your professional capacity.
Yes.
How
indeed.
have we met?
Well, Andrew, you may recall.
I do.
I came to pimp up your garden a bit
He did.
and took a load of shite away to the dump.
He did.
And
Did a great job.
We had a great old time. We went
did.
to B&Q for a wee trip out as well.
We did. The garden has deteriorated again.
Was not surprising.
No, it's still tidy enough, but I have a landscape guy coming in now.
Uh-huh.
I've had 2 guys round for quotes.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Not cheap.
Not cheap.
Not cheap.
I had one guy quoted me 8.5 grand for my garden.
Some people
I went, no, you're all right, mate.
take the piss. Like,
I had another guy around, and I found him on Instagram because I actually want to develop the garden. Now, when I got you around, I wanted you to tidy it up for me.
Yeah.
Because it was looking a bit messy, and I just, even though this wasn't the garden that I wanted it just to be a bit tidy, even though it was messy. Mm-hmm. And you did a great job for me. Now I'm actually wanting to develop the garden and level it out and put in a new patio,
Yep.
and I want to put in a astroturf, and I want to put in pebble dash, and I want to put in flowers down the side. So I'm actually willing to spend a little bit of money. But I had a guy in, really nice man, came in, quoted me. The quote didn't suit me. Got another guy in that I found on Instagram, came round, lovely. You know when you get a vibe? I got a good vibe here.
Yeah.
He puts videos up of his jobs that he's doing at the moment. Puts videos up of his jobs that he does at the moment, and I went, well, I can see his work. I can see he's trustworthy, and I've read the reviews. Came around and I went, I actually wanted to work with him. So I'm waiting now for that quote.
It just makes all the difference, doesn't it?
But-
What
and
do you
also-
do if he comes in at 9 grand?
I can't do it. I have a budget.
Yeah.
And I told him I had a budget, and I wouldn't tell him.
Right.
It's tit for tat, isn't it?
Yeah. Funny, I had someone, a potential sort of agent, contact me the other day for comedy, for corporate stuff.
Yeah.
And she was like, what's your minimum fee? And I was like, not showing my hand, You've got to let them come
Yeah.
to you and discuss it
Exactly.
on
I've had
a case-by-case basis.
Oh, listen to this. Do you want to hear a mad story about once I got offered a gig? And you'll know this now as well because you're a comic, right? This guy contacted me many years ago from Dundee in Scotland. Never been. I've no plans on going. I'm sure it's a nice enough place. I don't know anything about the place,
It's
right?
adequate.
It's adequate. I'm living in London, and he goes, "Do you want to come up and do a gig for me? It's a charity gig." I was like, "Look, if it's for charity gig, you need to can maybe use people close to your house, close to the venue." Because he goes, "Look, I can offer you 150 quid." And I went, hold on a second.
So you'll only be down 300 quid.
Yeah. The cost to get from London to Dundee, I would then have to pay for a hotel out of my own pocket. I also will have to travel back. How do you even get to Dundee? Probably have to fly to Glasgow or Edinburgh or a train. Get to Dundee, do the show, stay over, get up the following morning, travel all the way back. The cost of trains, the cost of planes, two or three meals. And I replied saying,
Your cocaine as well.
my cocaine, yeah, and my addictions. And I was like, no, like I'm not. Thanks for the offer. I replied with thanks very much, but that doesn't work for me. And good luck with the event. And he came back and he went, it's for charity. And I'm looking at him going, charity doesn't fucking own me.
Ah, dear.
And if you ever get offered a gig for charity and they go, listen, there's no money in it, but we'll do it, it'll be great exposure for you and you'll be really helping the charity out. And I go, okay. Can I just ask, the venue that we're performing in, will the bar staff be working for free as well? What do you mean? Will the bar staff be working for free? Will the hotel be supplying you all the lights, sound and equipment for free? Mm-hmm. Well, why am I the only one working for free?
Yeah.
Are you undervaluing my what I do?
That's the thing.
Like, people take the fucking piss, mate.
You could get comedians that will do it for free, but they might not have much experience.
If you're booking a comedian and he's saying I will do it for free, I would be worried about the comedian you're booking.
Yeah,
Are they going to do a good job?
I've put on charity gigs, and we maybe had 5 or 6 acts, and most of them did it for free, but the quality I paid for.
But the other thing as well is, Ian, because you know everyone, and like if you said to me, Andrew, look, can you come to do a show for me? We're going to get 4 or 5 hours. Well, I know you, so it's fine. You need to do a favour for somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But if it's somebody I don't know.
Yeah.
You know
and
what I
you've
mean?
got to travel.
And I've got to travel.
Yeah.
I do charity within a 6 mile radius.
Yeah.
After that, you pay me.
You hate charities, then? Don't you?
No, I don't. That's terrible.
You hate unfortunate people.
No, I'm an unfortunate person. But Ian came and did my house. He tidied my house up, and fair play to you. You did a great job. Now I do appreciate it, and it's very good of you to have done that. And I've moved on to the next stage now, which is get the landscape gardener, and so we're getting there.
It'll be a nice wee garden once you're all sorted.
Yeah, it will be. I think it'll add a bit of value to the house, hopefully as well. Because when I sell it, because I will sell it. Producer Sean, what's happening with the scratch card?
Still working us out.
You bought us the most complicated fucking scratch card, Ian.
It'll be worth it when you win 300 grand.
I'm going to tell you now, you're already 3 quid up.
Yeah. Am I?
Yeah.
3 quid on a scratch card.
Welcome. You're very welcome.
How much did the scratch card cost?
3 quid.
So we're broken even as a group.
Yeah.
There we are.
That's fucking mental.
How long have you lived up here?
I'm here 2.5 years. 2.5 years now, and I absolutely love it.
Yeah. What brought you up here? Was it a woman?
Housing and a woman, yeah.
Yeah. Always is, isn't it?
Always is. And then that didn't last very long, which I'm totally and 100% completely fine with. If anything, happy.
I can't believe you've been here 2.5 years
Two-
and you've never heard of 15s.
Never heard of a 15, no. And but I'm going to bring these down south.
And your life has now changed.
My life has now changed. But would you perform down south much?
No, not really. Actually, I've not done a gig in Dublin for about a year. I went down to do the Crackdown, Demo Clark.
Yeah.
And
Was that Sunday, Monday, Tuesday or
Eddie
something?
Malarkey. I think me and Jordan went down on a Thursday or something. So that was great. And then, yeah, I've just done a few gigs in Dublin.
Because you're not a full-time stand-up.
No.
And is that one? And like, how long have you been doing it?
I started doing it in 2017, but there's been over 2 years where I've not done anything.
Exactly. So, but what made you come from? Obviously, you've got a child as well. And the mad thing about this is that Ian's turned up today to do the podcast, and Wednesday's your day off.
Yeah.
So Wednesday's his day off from gardening, and we're recording this on a Wednesday. And he's turned up and he says, "Oh, my daughter's sick," and I was like, "Oh, right." Well, and in the back of my head, I was like, "Oh, okay." And then he just went, Jordan Robinson, who's another comedian who's been on his podcast, is minding. Now, I'm going to be funny with you, but that's a fucking high risk strategy. Having Jordan Robinson mind your child. Why is Jordan Robinson a childminder?
I don't know. It's a bizarre setup, right? But I just remember there was one day I was in town.
Did he knock on your door one day and you go, any chance I can mind the
What
child?
happened, right? I was in town with my son one day and we went into HMV in the centre of town, went up on the escalator to look at the upstairs stuff, met Jordan at the top of the stairs and just started chatting. And my son, like really shy, even around like my siblings. But with Jordan, he was just instantly like chatting away to him. And
How old's your son?
he's now 12, but at the time he must have been 8 or 9. So then we were going off to New Zealand. That's where my missus is from. So we were going away for like a month or something. And I said to Jordan, would you fancy staying in the house to look after the cat? And
I was expecting you to say child there.
Yeah, no, no,
You and your wife were going to go to New Zealand for a month, and you go, you couldn't look after the 9-year-old there for a month.
no, he came along to meet the cat and get the lowdown, and just the kids got on really well with him. And ever since,
But he's a good guy, Jordan. He's such a good guy, isn't he?
he is. He's a good lad. And this morning, just whenever we had to keep Isla off school, I was like, I wonder if Jordy would be free to help.
So you
out.
just rang him up and said, can you pop up for a couple of hours?
I didn't even ring him. Just sent him a text.
And he was like, yeah, I'm on there.
Yeah.
So he'll come up, watch TV, do a bit of work, chill out with the kid.
Yeah.
Is the kid asleep in bed or is he on the sofa playing Xbox or something?
She's just got a bad head cold, like, so she's very sniffly. But as I was leaving the house, I was like, okay, I'll be back in a couple of hours. You be nice to Jordan. And she just went, no.
Right, okay.
She enjoys roasting him.
Oh, right, okay. So when you go back in now, you're just expecting, like,
Jordan will be in tears.
Jordan will have another triple bypass or another fucking heart operation to have that fixed. That's fucking mental. That
I know.
Another comedian minds your kids like.
I know.
That's pretty. But it's a good setup. That and your wife, she's at work, or your partner's at work, or
Yeah. Aye.
So she's at work in the day.
So
obviously,
some
like.
days she works from home.
What does she do?
She works for a software company.
Oh, very
so,
good. And she's from New Zealand. Which island?
Yeah, south. Dunedin.
Oh, Dunedin.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So she's been here for nearly 19 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So
It's a bit of a change to come from the south Island of New Zealand
well,
to
not
Belfast. isn't
massively.
it?
Actually, Dunedin's quite similar in terms of the climate and all to here.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Like their summers are probably a bit hotter and drier, but it's very Presbyterian place.
In
Dunedin.
yeah.
Fuck. The last time we were there, right? I went out with Shona's mates, James and Charlene, for a couple of drinks in town one night.
This is in New Zealand.
Yeah, this was about 4 years ago. And Shona's mum was looking after the kids. We went out and we were just having a few drinks, sitting outside. Nice summer's evening. And after a while, I was like, fuck, I'd love a cigarette. And there was this guy kept coming out of the bar to have a smoke. And I was like, I'm just going to go over and ask him if I can pinch one of his fags. And I went over, sorry, mate, would you mind if I just take one of your cigarettes? And he was just like eyeballing me. And I was like, sorry. And he was like, no, go. And took out the packet and he was like, where are you from? And I was like, oh, I'm from Belfast in Northern Ireland. And he was like, all right. And then he just started chatting to me for a bit. And he was like, you in the Orange Order? And I was like,
Oh Jesus Christ!
I was like, no.
New
And
Zealand, mate.
He was like, I am. Right? So there is an Orange Order in New Zealand and he was part of it. And fuck, he was a mental bastard. Right? Just
Where was he from? Was he a New Zealander?
yeah.
Was
he's
his
from-
family Irish or
I
something?
think did he tell me his dad
Northern
was-
Irish.
His dad might have been from Glasgow or something. But he started off he just went nuts.
I'm googling it.
There's an Orange Order in Ghana and
Ah, will you just fucking stop?
no, there is.
There's an
Google it.
Orange Order in Ghana.
Yeah, and Togo.
Sean, that's the title of the pod. Ghana's Orange Order. Are you telling me that there's an Orange Order in Ghana?
Yes.
Right, so you're in this place in New Zealand.
Uh-huh.
This guy is a New Zealander. His dad was probably from Glasgow. How old was he?
Hard to tell. He was a bit of a bogan, as they say. A bit of a redneck.
What's a bogan?
It's kind of like, I suppose the local equivalent would be like a spide or a smack eye or a knacker, as they would say in Dublin.
Oh my God, Orange Order
Ghana.
on the equator, keeping the faith in Ghana.
There you go. Bet you they've got 15s out there. So anyway, he turns around to me after a while and he was just like, he just started bad-mouthing Catholics. And I was like, man, have you ever been to Northern Ireland? And he was like, no. And I was like, I think you would actually be surprised at how few people would agree with what you're saying to me right now. He started going on about the Catholic Church being pedos and all this. Now, no smoke without fire, obviously. But he was just like, we need to go to the Vatican and kick the doors in. And like, we can't stand for this shit from Catholics. And I was like, what the fuck are you on? And I was like, can I have another cigarette? And then I'll fuck off.
Oh my God.
And then it was about 6 weeks after that that the Christchurch mosque was attacked. Right? And it was on the news that the fellow that did it actually lived in Dunedin. And my missus
I did
was
fucking
like,
knew each other.
she goes, I bet you it was him. I bet you it was that guy. You got a cigarette off. And turns out it wasn't. But I wouldn't have put it
But
past.
I wouldn't be surprised if those people all have fucking know each other. Like,
Who knows?
that's really fucking extreme, isn't it?
Oh, I just couldn't believe my luck. I was like, how the fuck did I end up talking to this mental bastard on the other side of the world?
Was he tattooed and all that?
Don't think so. Don't recall any
Was he married?
tattoos. I didn't get that far into a conversation with him.
I mean, as somebody from the South who was brought up and went to Catholic church and stuff like that, I have no time for it. I have no interest in it. I couldn't give a shite. If I went to a wedding and it was in a Presbyterian church, I would go and I would respect it. If I was in the Catholic church, I would go and I would respect it.
Same.
I don't care what you are, where you're from, what colour you're from. But if
But
you
you're
wake up in the morning and you hate another person or culture because they have a different stance than you on something, I think
Yeah.
it's more of a reflection on you than it is on the other people.
Yeah.
Like, get over yourself. The world doesn't revolve around you and your opinions.
Well, I haven't been to your house. I know you're very anti-Semitic. Like,
I'm not. It's racist. I'm very racist.
yeah, no, I mean, getting me to plant that wee flower bed in the shape of a swastika.
Well, what did you think of the Bobby Sands Memorial?
Looks lovely.
Did you like the bit where I was burning the Orange Order flag and all that? Like, it was lovely.
Yeah,
That was a
like,
really.
it's a brave move where you live.
Do you know that episode of Father Ted where the guys go and did you see the episode of Father Ted where
Yeah.
the priest dies and the boys go to clear out his house and they open it's all full of Hitler stuff.
Man.
And then the Chinese family come over and then Father Ted had to move the
The wee
stuff around
square
and the wee
there.
square, and the guys walked into the wrong room and he was saying, I'm not a racist, you know, but anyway, this is the other room and he walks in and there's all the Hitler stuff and he's like,
Man.
no, it's not what you think. It's not what you think.
That is like possibly my favourite episode. It's a cracker.
My
Do you
favourite-
know Father Ted, Dermot Morgan, died on my birthday, which is the 1st of March. And then, wasn't it Jack Kelly played, or
Frank
Kelly?
Yeah.
He also died on the 1st of March.
He did not, did he?
So Ardal O'Hanlon must wake
Oh
up.
no, Ireland's not going anywhere.
He must wake up.
Ireland's a young man.
Well, you're a stunt double, you should
He's
know.
my stunt double, yeah.
But if he wakes up on the 1st of March, he must be like, oh, phew. Hopefully I'll make it to the second.
He's got a few more weeks to figure that out.
Pauline
Couple of more
McLean
weeks
as
and-
well. Must be squeaky
Oh,
bum time on, you know.
Do you know what? I met Pauline once. Such a lovely woman, and I think she came to one of my shows, and I could hear her laughing in the crowd.
She's got a good laugh.
Yeah, and the reason was because nobody else laughed. And I remember she came to one of my shows, and it was one of the worst shows you could do at Edinburgh.
Oh, really?
You know the way when you have that day,
Where was it?
Edinburgh.
Oh, fuck.
You know when you have a day and you could be doing 26, 27 shows. And look, the way I look at it is, a third of them, you'll smash it. The other third will be good. And the other third might be a bit meh.
Yeah.
That's just Edinburgh.
Uh-huh.
She came on the worst of the meh days.
Oh.
So like, of 27 shows, you go away and you'd be like, 2 were bad. She came on one of the 2 that were bad.
I lived in Edinburgh, and I was there for about 5 years. And this was long before I didn't start doing comedy until I was 38, but I just remember going into like random shows. And
What year did you live there?
2005 until 2010. Then
Is that
we
where you
moved
met
back.
your partner?
No matter here.
Oh, right, okay. So you would go to the Fringe every year when you lived there? Would you
Well,
pop
we were
in?
living there. Funny enough, we didn't go to that much stuff because, you know, when it's on your doorstep,
You don't
things
go,
sort of easily wash over you. So I went to certain bits and pieces. But like with hindsight, I wish I'd gone to a lot more than I actually did.
Really? And did that give you the bug to become a comedian? Or to try become a comedian?
I don't know. Like at the time, I remember sitting there watching on.
I could do better than this shit.
Well, there was times I was like, oh, I'd love to give it a go, but I never acted on it. And then I broke my knee in a gardening accident. I got kneecapped by a distant branch of a tree in 2016.
Dissident branch of a tree.
And so I was actually a further Ted night in the Black Box. It was Joe Rooney, Pat McDonnell,
for Owen McClough. I'm Owen McClough, and I've no Willie.
And then Michael Redman.
Oh,
Right? So
Father
the three of them
Stone,
were
yeah.
doing a show, and my mate rang me, and he was like, "Do you fancy coming down to this?" So I went down on
Owen McClough.
crutches,
Owen McClough.
cast from my balls to my ankle.
Jesus Christ.
And afterwards went for a few drinks, and my mate John that got the ticket was like, "Have you never thought about doing stand-up comedy?" And I was like, "Well, actually, a few people have suggested it before." And then I was like, "I've got fucking 3 months off work here. Like, I might as well, see if we can get a gig lined up." And took it from there.
Great, but to start at 38 is fantastic, though, because
Yeah.
a lot of people think nowadays, like in comedy, especially if you're over in fucking London. I was gigging with someone there recently, they were 22, and I was like, fucking hell. I didn't start till I was 26, 27.
Right.
And when I started at 26, 27, I wanted it because I'd worked for 5 years in the corporate world. I'd worked for years, and since I
What
was
were you
8,
doing?
I was in the bank in
Right.
England. And before that, I worked in the HSC down south. I was a private investigator. I worked in hotels and stuff like that. So I'd done all the shitty jobs, all the minimum wage. They're not shitty jobs, actually. I'll take that
What
back.
are you, 41? Turning 41?
Ian, there's no need for that.
Don't get me wrong, you don't look a day
Listen.
over 39 and a half.
Ian, there'll be a dissident fucking punch going into your face in a minute if you keep talking like that.
Fucking put those 15s in that scrap.
I am relatively young. I'm actually 41 in March. I'm 41 next month. But I don't look 41, do I?
No, that's what I said.
I'm 41 at the end of March. But I would say I feel so young. I've no kids. I've no, you know what I mean? I've
Yeah.
nothing. Like I fucking, yeah, I'm 41. But fuck it, I enjoy my life and I've had a good life
Yeah.
experiences. So people say to me, I look around 35, 36.
Yeah.
So anyway. But my point is that I'm working with 22-year-olds in London, and they're all going and saying, it's really difficult. I'm like, you don't know what fucking difficult is, pal. Until you can't afford your rent, until you're too embarrassed to ring home to ask for money, till you are in jobs you don't like, getting out of bed at 6 a.m, getting a bus or a train to a job you fucking hate. So when I started doing comedy, I was like, I want this. And I know what it's like going back. So I'm going to work hard.
Yeah.
And for you to start at, 37, 38, I mean, fair play to you, because the thing about being a comedian is you can be a comedian. I know a couple of guys in England that are in their 70s and they don't need to do it, but they do it because they love it. People say, I don't like old comedians. No. I want to do this until I die.
Yeah. Same.
This isn't I'll do it till I'm 55 and then I'll get my pension and I'll leave. No. I do this because I love to do it. This is the vocation.
Yeah.
This is like joining the priesthood without the kids.
Yeah.
This is a vocation. Do you know what I mean? So this is what I want to do. So for you to start at 38, you have children, life experience, you've lived away, you've traveled a bit in the world, partner, kids, you've completely other priorities. You've a business as well and all that kind of stuff. Do you go into it without any pressure?
Probably a bit. I mean, I am envious of the likes of Kieran Franco and Pete Giffen, Sean McAlevey, in their 20s, started doing comedy in the last year and a half. And Pete Giffen must do 4 or 5 gigs a week, but I can't do that. I probably turn down nearly as many gigs as it take because
You have family commitments.
kids, all sorts of things going on. But hopefully once they're a bit older, and I don't know how long I can work at landscape because it takes it out of you, and a few
physically,
yeah, a few boys they know, they did it sort of up until their 50s, and they're like, I can't do this 4 days a week anymore because it's just literally breaking me. So maybe further down the line when the kids are a bit older, I'll switch more to the comedy full time.
What about writing? Script writing?
Yeah, might try something like that at some stage. But again, see, at the minute, an idea will pop into my head and I'll make a note of it. And then that's actually one of the great things about my job is you can just have time to think.
Yeah.
Think it out. You've not got people interrupting you.
I'd say your job in the summer is... Sorry, I'd say your job in the summer is a bit of crack with the weather and stuff.
Even in the winter, it's not that cold here anymore in the winter.
Yeah.
'Cause the
I
planet-
was quite surprised as the planet burns to the ground and we all die. Mm-hmm. It's great to get a bit of heat on the way out.
I'd bit of a tan.
It's great to be able to, if the world is going to die and we're all going to implode and that's it, there's going to be no human race left. suppose it's nice to kind of get a few good days under your belt, I suppose, before you go.
Every cloud, eh?
Yeah. So that's mad, because I often think to myself, where am I going to be when I'm 60? And do you know what I'm going to be? I'm going to be fucking buzzing just to be, I've done being a comedian and travelled around.
Yep.
I don't, like, my favourite comedian's Bill Burr. Bill Burr didn't get any attention till he was 43.
Is that right?
He's 54
don't
now.
actually know much about him.
Bill Burr did not get any attention till he was about 42, 43, maybe 44 even. He's 53, 54 now. He's only had 10 years, 10, 12 years maybe, right? No,
But how long was he gone?
since he was 19.
Right, okay. Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say to you is that, like, everybody has their moment. Like everybody has. You could be a 19-year-old comedian. How many 18-year-olds are going to spend 15 quid to watch you?
I know. It's
Like,
well, it's a hard slog.
It's
Like,
mate, people think like you just turn up. Oh, I'm a comedian now. No, there's a difference between being a comedian and being a stand-up.
do you know Adam Lachlan?
No.
Oh, he's great. Like, just a local actor. He's from Derry, and he is fucking hilarious. But he quite often starts his shows just by saying, "How you doing? My name's Adam Lachlan. I've been doing stand-up comedy for 15 years, and that's why you've never fucking heard of me." And like, that's the thing. It's just, people work away at it for years before anyone knows them.
Oh, you're an overnight success after 15 years, aren't you? Like,
Exactly.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think the beauty for me is a bit like, I kind of say to myself about it is that I got into stand-up comedy because I loved the rush of making people laugh. But I know people who got into stand-up comedy because they wanted to be famous. I got into it because I love doing comedy. So I always say, if this was the peak of my career,
Yeah.
I'm still happy.
Yeah.
Because I'm doing what I want to do,
Yeah.
making rudes people laugh.
Oh, you just have fun.
I love it. Now, if the fame and the opportunity and the big rooms, and obviously I need to go on TV to sell tickets or put stuff out online to sell tickets, go on radio shows and podcasts and all to sell tickets. But if I could get a core group of 15,000 people that will come and see me every 18 months,
Just the 15.
that's all I want. I'm not
You're
chasing.
obsessed with 15 now.
Yeah, no, but that's actually subliminally Darren Brown's put that in my head there.
aye.
Like, but my point is this: that I will do it if there's people that want me to do it, and I'll stop doing it when comedy starts to reject
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
But my point is that I'm not in it to be. Oh, I need to have 1 million followers online. I need to earn this amount of money every year. I need to do this. No, if I can, I do it because I love to do it. And if they came to me tomorrow and said, Andrew, comedy's shutting down tomorrow, we're only picking 15 people to do it every year, and you don't get paid, and I got picked, and I'd be like, yeah, I'm totally fine, not getting paid.
Unless it's for charity in Dundee.
It's charity. But my point is that I do it because I love to do it.
Yeah.
And I know there's a few people in it that are in it for the wrong reasons.
Well, exactly. One of the actually biggest motivating factors when I started doing it was how badly my first gig went. Like, I fucking
Love these stories.
I just embarrassed myself
How
completely.
bad? Tell me. Where was it?
It was in the pavilion.
That was your fucking problem there,
But
mate.
it was no the pavilion now.
Can I just say, by the way, the Pavilion is a great gig, and big out to Luke who runs a great gig. That was just me being a comedian there, okay?
It is a great night, but you see how it used to be? The room used to be the other way around.
Yeah.
Oh, because the comics sit at the back
Were you
now.
there?
I've gigged in the pavilion quite.
Pavilion's a great spot.
Yeah,
it's a
but,
great
I mean,
spot.
You used to have the speakers underneath the stage.
Aye.
So see when I was playing music, when you were playing music, all you could hear on top of the stage was like
Oh,
basses.
Christ.
Well, I mean, since the pandemic, fair play to Luke.
He's
right?
brilliant. Luke is a lovely fella.
He's really built it up. Like, most weeks it sells out
Yeah.
now. But it used to be if you had 15 people there, you were like, oh, big crowd in tonight. The material it wrote was shit. I tried to do too many different things, all just piled in
But
together.
you're new, though.
I know, but it was just horrifically bad. But then I came away from it just going, I know I can do so much better than that.
But you know what also you did? This is what I would say to you here now, without going into any kind of wankery motivational stuff. You did it and it went horrendous. And guess what? Nothing happened.
Yeah.
People
Well,
think that if it goes bad, guess nothing actually happens.
Well, I've seen the shoe on the other foot when people nail their first gig.
But nothing happened. Nailing your first gig can go against you.
Yeah.
Because you might think you can just do
Well,
it.
you get people like who,
I bombed on my first gig.
Kevin Bridges' biography. He talks about, I think it's like his first 3 or 4 just went brilliantly. And then when he did the first bad one, he was just like, fuck, I'm never doing this again. Like,
Because he didn't know how to deal with it.
yeah. So, I got booed off.
On my first one.
I was, first gig, I was just like, I've let myself down. I know I can do better than that.
And that's a great sign of somebody who's interested in the art and the craft of it, rather than.
And do you know what Luke McGivern, right? I've held him and pulled him on this and mentioned it on stage. When he finally let me have a second gig, when he gave me the
The
date,
power of the
right?
open spot manager.
He was putting the date into his phone, and he looked at me and he said, just try to make it funny next time. I know. And I was just standing there going, you piece of shit.
Fair play to him. What a great line, though.
Oh, it wasn't a great line to hear.
I know, yeah, but now you're looking back
But,
and you go, I get it now. Like,
I got my revenge a few years later when I started a rumour online that he was a child sex offender. So, swings and roundabouts.
oh Jesus Christ, I don't want to ever cross you, Ian. Fucking hell. It's a shame about Jordan Robinson, though, isn't it? I hope those allegations finally get dropped.
Yeah.
Anyway, but he's with your child today, is he? Oh, lovely.
Yeah.
That's,
She was the one that made the allegations.
that is absolutely mental. My first gig, I was so bad.
Where was it?
Comedy Store, Manchester.
Uh-huh.
Gong show.
Right.
Booed off after 2:22.
I think Joe Likes It did that. His first gig.
There as well, yeah.
Yeah.
We and Joe started together.
Oh, did
We
he?
used to live together, yeah.
I remember him saying about just getting up and giving it
The
a
mad
go.
thing is, I'm actually going to get a text Joe. Me and Joe used to live together in Edinburgh. I've opened for Joe at the Apollo in London and stuff. Opened on his tour for him, and me and Joe, I know Joe's parents and everything, and we started together. Obviously, his career went off in this mental direction, and he's absolutely brilliant and such a lovely man as well. I'm actually going to text him soon. To get him on. No, I'm just going to.
Don't let me.
No, I'm
stand
going to actually figure out when he's next in Ireland. I'm going to get him on the pod. Because I know me and Joe go back a good bit. Like, no, obviously he lives in a very different world than I do at the moment. You know, he's an A-lister kind of thing. Like, and I'm
A+.
I'm Q. I think I'm Q. I'm currently moving up to or is or before Q? I can't remember.
You're getting demoted.
I'm getting demoted from the celebrity thing. Do you know I got asked to do Celebrity Come Down with me?
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I got asked. I turned it down.
Who else?
They rang me. Channel 4 rang me and said, would you do Celebrity Come Down with me? And when I live in a flat. This is when I lived in a flat.
Right.
It's a 1-bed flat.
So what?
I said, I don't even
So you've got a dining table?
No, but I said, I've got 2 chairs. I don't
Could
even
have had
have
a picnic sitting on the
And I
bed.
said, I don't even have 4 chairs. And they were like, oh, no, so we will help you out and we'll sort that out. I said, no, I'm not doing this. But it'd be such a wonderful experience, Andrew. I said, I am not going on a Celebrity Come Fucking Down. Not Celebrity Come Down, whatever the fuck it was. I said, I'm not cooking for fucking 3 other people I don't know. I said, first of all, I don't cook. Secondly, I've got 4 knives and 4 forks. I don't even know if the cutlery will be clean on the day. Like, I can't predict that.
If you had to make, what would you make them?
If I had to make on Celebrity Come Down, what would I make? Do you know what I'd make? I'd make, this is what I do, gluten-free pasta penne with smoked salmon fried with spinach, soft cheese.
Hey, that's fucking.
That
That sounded amazing.
With some nice peppers and stuff. Then I'd do maybe a side of garlic bread. For starters, we just have a chat.
Soup?
No, we just have a chat. I wouldn't cook anything like. Bowl of soup, oxtail soup out of the packet. With some wheaten bread. And then for dessert, then 15s.
I want to come round to yours.
I'm telling you, mate. And then afterwards, we watch a film about the rise of Hitler.
Yeah, wouldn't even make me a fucking cup of tea when I was doing his garden.
Did I not? I offered it to you,
you
fucker.
did.
I fucking offered it to you.
And if you didn't offer me smoked salmon with cream cheese,
I'm not your fucking dad.
What would you be making in?
What would you be making?
I would possibly a chicken curry for main course, or macaroni cheese.
Macaroni cheese?
Yeah, with a side.
Is that on toast?
Garlic bread as well? No, macaroni cheese. It's like it's macaroni pasta in a cheese sauce.
No. What's that?
What?
What's macaroni cheese?
Mac and cheese, the Americans call it.
Mac and cheese, no. Hold on, what's mac and cheese? Mac and cheese. Is this a northern thing?
No, it's a fucking
What's
Italian
mac and cheese?
American thing.
Listen, I know Italy. I've been to Italy. Macaroni and cheese is a... Oh, I know what it looks like.
Yeah, I make a tasty one of those.
Oh, Oh, no.
Only
no,
issue,
That's disgusting.
very high in cholesterol.
Do you want to know the results?
Oh, we got the scratch card results. Come on.
Right, so this was such a complicated scratch card.
Well, it's a
I had to
Protestant
read
one, isn't
all the Bible on the back to work out how this goes. So we've got 4 games here, right? And a bonus game. So you scratch off these numbers in this
Yeah.
box in each game and try and get a lane. So card 1, the first game, no winners. Card 2, no winners. Card 3, no winners. Card 4, no winners either.
What?
But we did win the bonus game,
Right?
which got us £3.
Oh,
There we go.
£3. We won our money back.
Not too bad.
So you won your money back, Ian.
Yeah, well, it's for the scratch cards for you.
Oh,
You're-
mate, that's
You're
amazing.
£3.
Oh, thanks so much. £3. I put that note towards me, cost a little.
Listen, so speaking of previous jobs, and the last time I saw you was the Terrace in Macrofelt, which was honestly, see your set that night, man. It was one of the best sets I saw last year.
Thank you very much.
So good. And the dentist receptionist in the front row.
Oh,
And then, but I said to you before you left, I used to work in reception
Yeah.
at the GP surgery.
like I've written a routine about why there's like a lack of male doctor receptionists, and basically the whole routine is like why men can't do it. What's the job interview like to be a doctor receptionist? Why is there no male doctor receptionist? Because obviously, if I ring my GP, I say like, oh, it's easier to get an appointment with the head of ISIS than it is my fucking GP. All this kind of stuff, right? So you used to be a doctor receptionist,
Yeah.
right? So explain now. I understand the job you do. You have to firefight,
Yeah.
and you have to get the right people into the doctor that need, because people would waste time, and they're hypochondriac. Oh, I've got a pain in the elbow. Fucking be grand tomorrow.
Yeah.
People can be ringing the doctor and overthinking things. So where did you do that job? And
I did
talk
it in
me through
Crumlin. So my dad was a GP.
Your dad was a GP.
Yeah, and there was a vacancy, and I was unemployed, and
You had to go in.
ended up. So it is a hateful job, right? Because you've got all the doctors saying, right, we're so busy, all the appointments are booked up for the next 3 weeks, but there's like an emergency session in the morning between like 9:30 and 11. When if you don't have an appointment, if it's like a medical emergency, you can come in and be seen by a doctor. But the doctors are like, don't book anyone in for it though, right? And then every fucking patient that's coming in the door is going, it's urgent, like.
But every medical emergency is urgent.
Exactly,
You're sick.
but then you can't actually, now GPs receptionists are doing a bit of triage because of COVID, and they're asking a few questions. Back then, if someone said it was urgent, like you just had to give them an appointment. So I would have no idea. And then there was people going into the doctors and saying, "Oh, I've got bad breath," and like then the doctors were coming out to you and going, "What the fuck? Why is this fucking dickhead in?" Like, So
they're getting pissed off at you.
So you're just in the middle with doctors saying, don't let anyone in, and
sick people.
patients saying, this is urgent.
So you're getting it from the doctor and you're getting it from the patient.
Yeah.
And you're in the middle.
Yeah.
And how do you, why is everyone such an arse on the desk?
I think it's just relentless as well. So this was 20 years ago when I was working there.
Right.
And from the minute you get in the morning and the phones go from the answer service to live, they just start ringing instantly. The first thing anyone says to you is, I've been trying to get through here for half an hour.
What do you say? What have you been rammed by?
And, well, you just feel like going, well, I'm fucking speaking to you now, so what do you want? But, like, I would say a good 25 minutes of your day, minimum, is taken up by people complaining that it took so long to get through on the phone. And you're like, well, if you weren't saying all this shit...
This would have been done quicker.
Yeah.
But
it's like when you were doing the bit about working in B&Q, and people saying, do you take cash or card and all that? It's just the general public, man.
they're fucking assholes, man.
Oh.
The general public, the people who, not the people who listen and watch this podcast, they're sound. It's every person that is alive is a problem.
Yeah. That's like,
People are, I genuinely believe self-awareness should be taught in school.
But it's just fucking the stupidity. Like,
People's-
people would phone up and say, yeah, I'm looking at an appointment to see a doctor. And I also worked in a state agency, and I've also been a double glazing salesman, which is pretty much the holy trinity of cunts, right? I've done all three jobs, and it was the same in a state agency. People would phone up and go, oh yeah, I'd like to go along and view that house. And you'd be like, okay, no worries, I'll have to speak to the owner. They're doing the viewings themselves. When would suit you? When would you like to go? And they go, oh, just any time. And you're like, okay, phone the owner of the house. They'll be like, all right, tell them Thursday night, like if they want to come after 6, phone them back, and they're like, right, they say Thursday 6 o'clock, and they're like, oh no, Thursdays aren't good, and you're like, okay,
Oh my God.
and you're just like, you know, people are saying, oh, just anytime, just whenever suits.
Oh my God. I'm actually anxious. You telling me that. I'm
And
actually
then
getting
you would just be
irritated.
like, okay, so how about Tuesday lunchtime? They're like, oh no, can't do weekdays.
Oh,
You're like,
Jesus
so
Christ.
why are you telling me you
Oh,
can go
my
anytime?
People are fucking idiots.
And
It's like somebody walking into a pub, innit? You walk into a nice big bar, and the barman's standing there, or the bar person is standing there, and you go up and you go, "Hey, you okay? What can I get you?" And they go, "What drinks have you got?" I've 200 fucking drinks here.
it's the general public,
What
man.
fucking drinks have I got? You go in, you go, I'll have a gin. What type of gin have you got? That's fine, because you've narrowed it down to gin. White wine. What would you recommend for a dry white wine? Oh, I'd recommend a fucking Shazzy Nazi or whatever it's called, right? Boom, there's a white wine,
Shazzy-Nazi's
whatever
cute.
it's called, right? Or I go in, I go, if I'm drinking lager, I go, what lager have you got on tap? Oh, you got San Miguel and Merida and Peroni. Peroni.
Yeah.
That's how you're. See what I mean?
Yeah.
Because every pub has a different what's on tap.
Or,
If you
a lot
walk
of
in and
them will
go,
have a menu.
if you walk in and go like, what would you recommend? I go, the place across the road. Like, fuck off.
Yeah.
Like, don't come in here.
She's like, do you have drinks?
Do you have, like, I remember, me and my mate used to do this. Oh man, we used to get in a bit of trouble for this. So in Cork, have you been to Cork?
Big fan of court.
We'll talk about this before we finish up. In Cork, we used to go to a furniture store, right? So beds, sofas and all that. So you'd walk in, imagine on a Saturday, Sunday, husband and wives dragging the kids around looking for a new bed and all this. And, you know, you walk in and there's a bed there, a sofa there, like DFS or whatever it is, right? What we'd do is we'd go in and we would just lie in the beds and wait until we were asked to leave. So we'd walk in, we would see a double bed, and we'd go up and we'd be like looking at them, take our shoes off,
that a
and
day-
we'd just lie in the
Day's
bed.
entertainment
And we'd
in
like,
Cork.
we'd like go into the fetal position and start sleeping. And people are like, what are you doing? He goes, we're just testing it, see if it works. We
Do
do
you
it
ever
for
go for a shit and be
no. But you know, in B&Q, the fake toilets,
Yeah,
that are in
yeah,
it, kids would run up and lift the toilet lid and pee into a display toilet. And then the staff would go up to the parents and go, that's a display toilet. And they were like, And you're like, you shouldn't be a parent. Like, you're fucking disgusting. Anyway, but we used to go around, or what you do is with mates is you go into a shop, and if there was a queue in Centra, and say you were third in the queue, and you're buying whatever, like, we would deliberately stage a fake argument. So I'd walk in and be like, Ian! And you'd look at me and you'd be like, Andrew! And we were all acting, and people in the queue go like, what's going on? You're fucking dead when you come out of this shop. And he goes, I'll fucking fight you. And everyone's like, oh, calm down. And then I'll go, we'd hug and everyone like, what's going on? We're like, we're just messing. Like, oh, do you remember before mobile phones, or let's go back then when I was 12 or 13. This is the best one we ever did. Went into a payphone in Cork, and we ordered 3 pizzas to the police station. And the payphone was across the police station, and we rang 3 pizzas. And obviously, you can't pay over the phone back in the 90s.
Yeah, of course.
So they would just turn up with the pizzas, and we were all sitting watching these pizzas going into the Garda station.
Man.
And the guy knocking, the police are like around you, man, and we were fucking legging it up the road. Like,
You see shit
the
like
shit we could get away with back then, but nowadays it's like, oh, you can't do that. You know what I mean? Like, some of the stuff we used to do.
Yeah,
was great
Old
crack.
classics, man. You see fucking super gluing a pound coin or a £2 coin
To the
I'm
ground.
just sitting, like, whenever my son was about 3, I showed him it, like, got the super glue and put it on the footpath outside our house, and we sat up at the bedroom window, and like, it's such an old joke, like, it's ridiculous, but the amount of people, it was a Monday morning,
And they're all
you
like
just
trying to
see
get the
people
£2, like,
fucking going to work or going to school, just looking miserable, and then going, oh, £2, and trying to pick it up, and I was like, and then my son, he was only about 3 or 4, and he was sitting laughing at the bedroom window with me, and then like an hour later we were going to the shop, and he came out and was like, oh, £2, like forgetting
That
he'd
was
seen
this,
it, and
yeah.
then he was raging. Or the other classic we did, I used to live in Newcastle upon Tyne, and somebody got a fake dog shit, right?
Oh, I remember
It was
those.
just incredibly real looking, and there was 2 cash machines next to each other across the road from this pub we were sitting. So he went and just put the dog shit on one of the keypads of the ATM.
Oh my God.
And then people were, so next thing there was this big queue forming at the other ATM, but you could see every so often someone would go, oh, that one's free, why are we queuing? And then they would walk up and just go and join the back of the queue again.
Oh my
And we
God.
were just like crying, laughing from the pub.
My favourite one that I used to do was we used to ring pubs.
Uh-huh.
So we'd ring a landhouse. We'd go to remember the Yellow Pages? Oh, it must have been about 13 or 14 at the time. We'd ring pubs. We'd go down to the payphone. I was at the Esso petrol station. And we go over, we ring a pub, and we say we were ringing Thomson's pub, right?
Yeah.
In Cork City Centre. I'm like, hello, Thomson's. I'm like, hello, is Johnny McCarthy? Would Johnny McCarthy be in the pub? His wife is after going into labour. Johnny McCarthy. We need to get hold of him. Johnny McCarthy. And next thing you know, you hear is the pub in the background, and you hear is, Johnny McCarthy! Is there a Johnny McCarthy in the pub? And we'd all be laughing to come back. We don't know if there's a Johnny McCarthy. His wife has gone into labour now. We'll wait. And then all you hear is the band on. Band will stop. Ladies and gentlemen, John McCarthy. Can a John McCarthy please come to the staff bar phone at the bar? And then come back. There's no. She's pushing, lads. She's pushing. And then they know we were winding them up, and they'd hang up. And then we go to. We rang a pub. We rang a pub in Cork in Douglas called the Briar Rose. People will know this. It was I don't know if it's still there now or not, but it was down in I think it's the North Douglas Road or the South Douglas Road. I can't remember. It was on the way from Douglas to Cork. The Briar Rose. And you go there on a Friday or Saturday, people will go in there for drinks and stuff like that. And the car park will be full of cars. And you're telling me that all these people are not fucking drinking and driving. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Saturday night kind of car park. They're not leaving them there overnight. Like, these people are driving. But you'd ring up the Briar Rose. You'd be like, hiya, can I book a table for 4, please? And they were like, when would you want it for? I go, Sunday, 8 a.m. Excuse me, no, we're not open till like, say, 3 o'clock on a Sunday. You know what? I had breakfast there last Sunday at 8 o'clock. And they're like, no, you didn't. You'd argue with them. I was in there, and you go, and I sat, because I used to go in there, guys, and I sat by the door, by the window, and the green chair, and you'd remember all the furniture, and they're like, you couldn't have been here last. You'd call me a liar. You calling me a liar? Like, I used to cause fucking murder with
people
them. Like.
hate dealing with the general public.
Oh yeah, but like when you're like 14, you used to do like all this fucking shit. So tell me about Cork. How often have you been down? What's your situation with Cork? Because Cork is the greatest county in Ireland.
Cork City.
Beautiful.
I don't really have too much experience.
Very European feel to it.
My mum and dad have a good friend that lives in Cove.
Oh, my brother lives in Cove.
And
Or
I
Cobb
remember
H.
being there as a kid.
Cobb H to the Americans.
Yeah, it was very nice. Apparently that means nothing, Cove, the name. Apparently it was sort of like, I can't remember what it was called before.
Cove?
Yeah. And then somebody, who was saying this?
COBH.
It was on a podcast.
Google it. Hold on.
And it was after...
Queenstown.
Yeah.
It was known as Queenstown.
So it was once the Brits got kicked out. They were like, we've got to rename this place.
They got, the Brits were there, and then the Brits got...
But Cove doesn't mean anything, apparently. It just was like, oh, that sounds kind of Irish. We'll go for that.
Well, they did COBH just so other people wouldn't know how to pronounce it. Just to confuse it.
So I remember being there. I must have been like 9 or 10 with my parents. And Madonna was doing a concert in Cork.
Porky Queeve, yeah.
That was all the chat.
Yeah, Madonna, yeah.
And then...
She's not been back.
I have been to
We didn't want her back.
Skibbereen and Baltimore.
Oh, Baltimore.
Yeah.
You love it down there, though.
That was great.
It's a bit of a trek, don't it?
And then the last time I was down there was for a wedding in, is it Castle Townshend? Sort of west.
Castletown Bear?
Nah.
The Castle Townsend?
I think so.
Hold on, let's find out Castle Townsend. Because there's little villages and towns.
But yeah, it's beautiful, man.
There's little parts of Cork. Oh, Castle Townshed, yeah. It's near Skibbereen.
Yeah, very nice county.
Small though. Like this, like you go down to Skibbereen, you go into little places and be like Castle this, Castle that, Bally this, Bally that. You know what I mean? But they're small. Like I wouldn't know. I know Skibbereen, but I wouldn't know the little fucking side village around the corner. Like,
but we went down for a meal or for a wedding and arrived fairly late at night, and everyone in the village knew everyone else. And knew who was getting married.
Exactly.
It was like, well, if you go down and speak to Danny down in the pub, he'll have the key for your room. And you're like.
That's like when someone said to me, like, what's your postcode? And Cork said, we don't have postcodes. We know everyone.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't need a fucking postcode.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Ian, your gig in the Sunflower, let's go through it. Now, guys, it's just you on the night.
No, Jordan Robinson's going to introduce it, and Sarah Jade Davidson will be doing a set as well.
And tell me what the show is about. Is it your material you've written since you started? Is there a team? What are we expecting?
It's called Daft Prick. Okay.
Unbelievable.
And, great. Have you seen the poster?
I think I have actually, because I was looking at your.
The show
Instagram
won't be
today.
as good as the poster.
The posters are always better than the show.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
You know
so no, it's going to be sort of loosely based around Daft Punk and robots and the French and it'll be a work in
Oh
progress.
yes, you're kind of like wearing a helmet there.
Yeah, and there's going to be like video and audio, and so it's not just straight stand up. I wanted to try and do something a bit different.
So it's a bit techie as well, is it?
Yeah, it's an audio visual
And
shit show.
How much is it?
It is £10 plus booking fee,
It's £11, so.
and the money is going to
Me.
Bamako NI, who are a local charity. Well, they're not a charity; they're a local organisation who support refugee
The Orange Order in
and
Ghana.
asylum seekers.
Oh, lovely. So it's asylum seekers. Okay, fantastic.
All the money's going to those guys.
Oh, great. So for on a Friday night, ladies and gentlemen, in the 24th of March.
That's it.
In Belfast, if you're looking for a night out, I highly recommend you go and see Ian. We've worked together numerous times. Please do pop along into the Sunflower, support local comedy, something a little bit different. The Sunflower is a great pub with great management and great staff as well. So let's go out, let's keep supporting people. And you also, if you need somebody to do a bit of gardening for you, a bit of tidying up, Ian Thomson's your man, all right, mate? No,
Too busy.
you're too busy.
Yeah.
Are you actually really busy at the moment?
Oh, I'm always really busy.
It's fucking mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, trying to get a tradesman at the moment, or a tradesperson. Like,
Yeah.
it's unbelievable.
It's hectic.
It's fucking mental. But ladies and gentlemen, Cork, I don't know, thank you very much for everyone tuning in. We appreciate it. I'm now going to go off to research the Orange Order in New
15s
Zealand.
and macaroni cheese.
And the 15s. Absolute mental.